Guys, what are we gonna do? You guys, how are you doing? Happy Monday. Listen, the phone is actually in my hand because my camera stand broke, you guys. So I was like, what the heck are we gonna do? I don't know. It may, y'all. Okay, listen, come on in here if you want to chit chat and hang out for a little bit. It is Monday. It is spooky week. It is the week leading up to Samhain. Maybe we can just like hang out and chill. You know, I've always got whatever various coffee, tea, water, drinky drink. I just finished labeling some custom oils. Yeah, man, I'm just so mad, y'all. I can't believe I've had that one for a couple of years, though. It was a good one. I think I may be able to fix or replace the attachment because I just love the stand, like the arm and everything itself is really good. But come on in the room, family. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Quite, we must say it is quite a week leading up to Samhain. And then we will really cross over. Spirit is wanting to bring it through like this. The way that I feel led to speak on it is like we're crossing over. You know how we talk about those thresholds, and how do we say, when we go through harvest season. Okay, so we'll talk about the wheel of the year a little bit. I might try to maybe if nothing else, we can pull an oracle, or I can grab one of the decks and we can just kind of do a fun little fan out and see what wants to come through. Could I light some Palo Santo? I know somebody out there is like, child, you so clumsy. Don't burn yourself. Okay. It's really, to be honest, LOL, right? But it's a great time to work with a lot of water, really. I mean, of course, you can intuitively work with any of the elements. And in fact, you do encompass all of the elements, including spirit, right? So you got everything you need. But I mean, gosh, you just can't pass up. I mean, it's so watery in this Scorpio season, you guys. And Neptune has come back to Pisces, And listen, I think, so all jokes aside, I don't think I'm going to burn myself, honestly. But y'all going to have to bear with me because I think that I can do like a temporary fix. I just don't know how well it's going to work, you guys, only because I don't know. We might have to replace her. But listen, welcome in. If you stumbled here and you're new today, look, I'm trying to set the rosemary. I know I'm probably not going to be able to do Palo Santo because I really need two hands. It takes a minute. We know that the energy is with us here. We're always smudging. Always, I've been on my Dragon's Blood incense. I need to do a little shout out. I need to post for you guys the brand that made the Dragon's Blood incense that I was gifted. Okay, that's interesting. Spirit, let's look at Dragon's Blood. I mean, look, when I look up things, you guys, I have oftentimes partnered with the spirits and the energies of the plants and the resins and all these things. It's what I do and it's what I love. But when spirit is really zinging on something, I feel that we should tap into it, right? Because there's a message there for someone. This one looks really interesting. So sometimes it's almost like an oracle in and of itself, right? And I'll check out someone who's writing about or talking about, that's interesting, you guys. I'm sorry. I accidentally looked up Dragon's Blood Jasper. You know what? I think we're going to go with it, though, because I like the message. Okay. All right, we're going to come back to that. So it wasn't my intention, but here we are. Yeah, so hey, anyway, come on into the room, get some coffee, get some tea, we'll chit chat. My hand currently, left or right, is gonna be our camera stand. Thank you so much for being here. You guys know the spiel. It's not really a space that I hold for any type of monetization. I just love to share the wealth of wisdom and knowledge, and we love to connect through the planets and the wheel of the year and all things witchy and tarot and astrology over here. So, hello and welcome. You guys know it's always helpful if you get something from the video, if you resonate, if you enjoy hanging out, whatever the case may be, right? Um, hit a like. That way it really just circulates us on the platform, and those who are of like soul resonance or in our soul family, or may spirit feels they may be helped by a message or anything that we would share, it just circulates us on this platform. And then obviously if you hit subscribe, I really feel like that button just lets us lock in, and we'll be soul family and tribe family together. And then we can I can resonate more with the frequency that's here. You know what I'm saying? So it's a rainy, cloudy day here in the southeast. Look, I got my pajamas on, my favorites. Kudos to me. You ever have like a really heavy, rainy, it's not dreary to me. I actually like it. It's very moody. But you just don't want to leave the house, especially my fixed signs and my fellow Aqua gang. Sometimes we just want to be in the house. Like, I'll be in the house a whole week if I could sometimes. And then you pop out and you're like, hey, and then you're back. You know what I'm talking about? And it's also been a hermit year, a year of 9, the 9 of the hermit card. So we've been in this hermiting energy, and it's good to have cycles like that. No, I mean, we don't want to hermit forever, although we have hermiting cycles, right? So shout out to gangs who are in your pajama bottoms too, right? Especially if you work from home and you can do that. Hey. But yeah, so welcome in. You're more than welcome to check out, my information and my description and stuff. I don't drop all that stuff in the bottom of every video I upload. I just can't. I can't. I'm not going to ever be able to remember to do that. But in my description, here on the channel, you can find my email. I always talk about my Facebook business page. I'm still arguing with my domain for my website, so a little aggravated about that. So I may transition away from that website. I don't know. I've just had issues. But look, I'm not going to go on about the website today. So yeah. Neptune is like, we're locked in. We are in the deep waters, in the introduction to the womb of the finality of this really Piscean journey. The backdrop of having such a Virgo, such a 6th house, such a what is in your daily routine? Is it mentally healthy? Is your body healthy? Mind, body, spirit connection. Is this the job? Is this the pattern? How can we tweak the pattern? What can we cleanse and purify? We've been doing this Virgo work, right? All year long. And we have had this beautiful backdrop of this North Node in Pisces, which is so wild because we've, on top of Virgo, shout out to Miss Cindy, right? Pisces. She knows. My Miss Cindy is out there. She knows. But Scorpio season, oh, y'all, is so, I want to say, you know what comes to mind? I was going to say it's very initiatory, right? I want to do a separate video where we really tap into Neptune and Pisces, because there's so much in the beautiful, silky velvet depth of the darkness, which is ultimately the subconscious, which longs to be made conscious. And this is the work of alchemy, right? So Scorpio season, massively so powerful. We're about 5 days in, right? We're in our new lunar cycle, and it is initiatory. There is darkness, which hey, this is very 8th house. What an 8th house conversation is that. Engaging in darkness helps us to not stay stuck in it. Okay. I think shout out to fixed signs, right? Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. If you have those in your top 3, but I'll also say learn about your Mars placement. And again, feel free to email me. Feel free to check out my Facebook business page. You can message me there as well. But I think I may actually, I have an event coming up on Halloween Eve, All Hallows Samhain, right? And I think I may do some offerings where we delve into the 8th house. I think Black Moon Lilith work is really good in your chart to dig in there. If you need help with any of those placements, there's so much information. We don't like to gatekeep. We love self-education over here because you are always going to be your highest and best guru and teacher. That's what the age of Aquarius has come to teach us, right? But hey, get in touch with me. If nothing else, you can always comment below in the video and be like, this resonates with me. How can we do more work? So yeah, that's always there for you, I do astrology readings, natal birth chart reading, intuitive teaching, consulting, all this. I do tarot readings as well. And you guys know I love to make my candles and ritual tools. So with that all being said, I don't want to only nail it down to fixed signs. It's just that I think they're going to be feeling this deeply. And of course, we're going to be talking about fixed signs a lot only because there's so many big placements, especially as Uranus will also prepare to go back into Taurus. So I like that aspect for us. That's going to be more in November, excuse me, like November-ish. Engaging the darkness, letting go of, resistance to change, big, deep depths, okay? Emotional and psychological work. This is what we're in it, and we have other placements in Scorpio as well. I don't have today's chart up just because it's kind of hard to, I don't have the detailed chart where I can see the degrees and stuff. But listen, we know where we're at with the let me put my socked foot. Look at, not my socked foot. We know where we're at with Scorpio season. We come to the wheel of the year of Samhain. We're passing that last lunar solar gate, coming upon the end of the harvest season, and that brings the natural cycles of death. That brings meeting face to face. What are you afraid of losing? And understanding that when you can embrace loss as a thought of just a shift in the way the energy presents itself, then you get access to this higher, we say that word higher vibrational so much, but how could we rephrase that differently? We get this access to a whole different, more evolved perspective, right? That change, that death, that endings really just open up for transformation and rebirth. And that's really when you can start reframing, seeing things in kind of a 3D, 4D type of way. You're growing, expanding, and ascending as the whole human collective consciousness is, where we are more in the 5D, right? And it's just giving. Spirit is randomly showing me this image of what we used to call trash eggs or trash soup. Where you like root the refrigerator and the cabinets and you really are just trying to be resourceful and you throw it all into an egg scramble or a skillet scramble or a soup. But it's like with this cauldron, she's staying right with us, isn't she? The cauldron. But I'm seeing like I'm hearing smoke on the water. Why did I see? So Smoke on the Water is a song, but I sang it to the tune of, what is it? Oh, wade in the water, children, wade. Okay, wade in the water, smoke on the water. I feel that. Let me light. I'm going to switch hands. I got my tiny little piece of rosemary here. I actually was making custom oils and working with a lot of rosemary this weekend. So it's funny that we're going to burn a little bit of rosemary here. Rosemary's great when you want to take a break on all your sages, you guys, Because sometimes we really, get in there. Okay. Get some rosemary. Rosemary is a great herb to work with. But yeah, as we are approaching Samhain, as we are approaching, it's kind of a change of the guard, and we're going to go out and we're going to wade in the water. But there really is this energy. It keeps coming through in personal one-on-one work, even in my own personal work. Look, I kid you not. This is what I drew for myself. Was this last night? Whenever it was. It's the Underworld. It literally says where all things pause and begin again. Lots of different collective channelings and people I admire, respect, and follow, teachers. It's just the energy. It's very intense. It's very deep. It's very raw. It's very much like if you're just going to be shallow, let's not even connect. We have to really release things that don't resonate with us. And it's really, we can make it deep and we can elaborate but it's simple. It's so simple. There's really this big, and of course, we always think about trees like dropping leaves. And there's this big theme of just letting things go, I really am excited that we're going to have a big full moon, a big juicy full moon in Taurus. That's going to be after Samhain, right? I love that we're doing all of this washing away, going back. Remember when we were in the Pisces energy and we kept talking about being baptized again? Not baptized. I hate to use that word because it's going to trigger people, but feel me, what I'm saying is you're being dunked under the water, or you're washing your hair. You're going to go wade in the water, smoke on the water. You're going to go in there again and do that alchemical work. And it's just like very transformative, right? So I love all of this energy, but let's not miss too this whole, what is it that you really desire? Why did something have to be, again, 8th house work, Scorpionic, Mars in Scorpio, Black Moon, Lilith in Scorpio, all of this, what shaped you that you kind of had to turn into a monster to digest or protect you from something or to fit in where you really never needed to be worried about. But I mean, look, we say that, but in all honesty, at times we had to survive, Excuse me. But there's a lot of this like pause. Is this really what you desire? Is this what you want to interact with? Is this a fear? Is this a shame? Of course, we're going to be thinking, because we're in a lot of water, which is deep, 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 deep emotional, subconscious moon placements. Again, moon placements, 8th house energy. What else were we saying? Oh, yeah, Black Moon Lilith placements. Those are ones, if you're resonating, you can kind of dig in and start reading for yourself. They're great to get intuitive or interpretive reads on. The way that Uranus is going to come in and work with Taurus again, and then move on to Gemini for so long. You know what I'm saying? The way that Neptune and Saturn are working with Pisces again, and then next year is so re-foundational building. We've said it a lot, and everyone is saying it because the astrology is so big and crucial right now. You have to just, if shit is stagnating for real, it's just, we have to choose in the direction that we want to focus, where we want to grow, where we're evolving. And sometimes choosing comfort is not always going to be that. And again, you can't, I don't want to say you can't do anything. You can do whatever you want, to be honest. I mean, damn. But when you're thinking about power, control dynamics, indebted energy, I owe, you owe, I control, they control, this all comes down to like the alchemical work, the biggest alchemical work, which is super in alignment with such a Scorpio-filled Scorpio season, to kick it off anyway, is that you say, what dynamics do I have with being afraid of my own power, being afraid of what I desire, really understanding who I am. You got to be intimate with your own self and trusting yourself, being vulnerable with yourself when you look in the mirror and say, what do I want? And then why do I shame myself? So there's so many dynamics to really dive deep into here in Scorpio season. What is a deck? Ooh, you know what we could do? Y'all, please bear with me. You know your girl is forever clumsy, but we're going to do our best to one-handedly pull an oracle card from Seasons of the Witch. I told you the other day, this is such a scorpionic oracle deck. It really is when you sit into it. I would encourage you, though, to go ahead and be reading for your journal fodder, for preparation of ritual and meditation, and what to choose, what to work with. Water, you know what I'm saying? Scorpionic. But we also, and then also on top of the Pisces placements, plus the scorpionic placements, we have Jupiter and Cancer. So just because things are dark and intense and there's desire and there's power and there's all these dynamics going on, there's really a lot of profound wisdom to come from all of it. And it can give like healing and transformation to these wounds that perhaps have been blocking us for generations. When you think about Jupiter, when you think about Cancer, it gets very motherly, right? But then scorpionic type of motherly is like, well, you don't understand, you know, all that I had to transform. I'm seeing the image of dun, 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 bring back what once was mine. And how Rapunzel, yes, okay. Spirit is showing me how sadly, you know what I'm saying? And yes, at some point, yeah, okay, I have empathy for everything that, let's say, her not even her real mother, bless, had went through maybe to get to the point that she would do all the things she did to lock her in a tower. But she thought she was protecting her, and her fear kind of corroded her ideas of power, manipulation, and, oh, well, I'll keep you safe forever. But there was so much greed and insecurity and shame locked up in that, right? But there is a balance here of saying, well, the way that we're trying to rebuild the collective for these experiences we want to have as we evolve over the next decade, over the next Pluto and Aquarius years and years of this journey, right? The entrance into the age of Aquarius is that at some point people either have to say, hey, I am an adult, I'm a human, I'm a soul that's evolving, and I have to start taking responsibility for this and how it affects people. And you can be profound and deep and intense, but you can also acknowledge, like, listen, I'm sitting in the swamp and I'm really not moving out of it. You know, it's something like this. But I am seeing that image of like Rapunzel being locked in a tower, which is interesting because Spirit is pointing out to me again, what was the thing that drew her out of the darkness is that she kept seeing, even in her dreams, the lanterns, right? Which is, again, this Pisces, North Node in Pisces, you're always connected to the divine source of all that is, right? South Node in Virgo with all this scorpionic, all this water. Again, we come back to the imagery of the lanterns. That's so interesting. Because it's always that juxtaposition of light in the dark and what you do with it, and where you choose to go and how you find your path, right? So that's really powerful. Let's see. Again, let's shuffle. Seasons of the Witch, Samhain Oracle. How are we going to do this? We're just going to kind of dump it out. We're going to, child, listen, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to have to, the best of the shuffle that we're going to get, this reminds me of before I really had not worked with cards so much and couldn't really shuffle. Everybody shuffles differently, though. Hear me out. But I got better at it over time, but I just used to do this. It's kind of funny. It reminds me of that. Okay. We're going to go with Spirit always working out for the highest and best good. We see exactly what we need to see. It don't got to be fancy, right? So we're just going to kind of spread through the cards here, right? And see what comes through. Y'all, do you see this? The Underworld, the full moon. Full moon in Taurus is going to be super important. Hand over your known, a shift is near. Take a leap, your journey is clear. This feels, at the same time, it's like something about dancing in the dark. And Spirit is trying to take me to a song, but I'm not getting it clearly. That could just be because things feel super murky. Oh, it's a lot of deep water. Okay, smoke on the water, right? Do you see the smoke? Wade in the water. Dun, 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 dun. I love to see the four energy, strong foundations. You see the gate? Do you see the finality of that last ritual in Samhain that they're going to really listen? Spirit is saying banishing work. For some, banishing work is going to be super important right now. I'm seeing like disciplining yourself, because some things, they just have to go, you know. When is it that we're having, oh, okay, I'm getting kind of ahead. That's some interesting stuff that will come at the beginning of the next lunar cycle. I don't want to go that far ahead in the... It's so crazy, though, you guys, that literally until like the end of January, Neptune's going to sit at this 29th degree in Pisces, because that's just another anuretic degree. And it's like you have to let go. You have to let go. And then Neptune's not going to be in Pisces again for such a long ass fucking time. It is really wild, because Neptune is that whole mysticism view. If I start talking about Neptune, I really do want to tap in and do a separate video where we just kind of sit down in this Neptune energy, because it's so powerful. Let me see how we can flip through this book one-handed. Child, you know I already struggle to find these page numbers with two hands. Oh, there's 43. Hold on. I'm going to do it. Oh, there's 39, you guys. It's because I love you and I just want to check in with you. I'm going to do this one-handed. Okay, here we go. Keywords, transition, and judgment. Because you know what? It's very interesting. I'm seeing this image of like doing a ritual, being at Samhain, you know, here are the final offerings and or sacrifices that I'm willingly coming up to bring, because I want to transmute the energy. I want to see the other side of the death, which is the rebirth. And so therefore, this is what I've brought. And after the totality of the harvest season, this is what I'm willing to sacrifice. And that's going to look so different. I think it's important that we do something that's very tangible to represent that, because this type of Scorpio season and this type of backdrop of outer planets and this type of depth of huge impactful level of endings we ain't going to have this again for decades and decades and decades. So I want you to I need you to get that. You know what I'm saying? But somehow it's also linked to your desires and not feeling shame, and how that can block you from growth. Okay, that's coming through. Yeah, big on the vanishing work. Maybe you do cord cutting. We could sit here and, of course, go down a list, you know, of things that you can do, candle workings, cord cuttings, and you can just meditate as well. Even if you don't have all the things. You don't need them if you have yourself and your intention. It can be very simple. Spiritual baths, I think, are going to be huge, super important, okay? Yeah, because when we do those cleansing rituals and release that water to be returned through her channels, through her journeys back to the earth, that in itself is symbolic of an ending, but then also a recycling, right? Okay, so rituals with water, rituals with banishing, offering, and even if, again, those may be meditations, rituals is just the way that you practice your intentions in a focused, tangible way, and that can be very different for all of us, right? Okay. In magic, the underworld is a place of transition between one life and the next, a place where you can retreat to replenish your soul and learn the details of your next human experience assignment. That doesn't mean you won't find judgment when you cross the veil. Oh, this is what I was saying. When I read that transition and judgment, it's almost like your higher self, your team and spirit, you know, up in the Akash, all the contracts that are coming to a close to open new cycles in a huge way. Please don't miss. This is like once in a lifetime, new endings and new beginnings. Okay. But what I was seeing was like, they're standing in a line. They're going up to this big Samhain, like stone altar. They're outside, you know, bonfires burning. It's a whole big celebration, but it's kind of ominous. And it's kind of like, what are you going to bring to sit down, to place on the altar? What are you bringing? And what does that say about what you want to rebirth? What are you willing to end, to cut off, to sacrifice, to... but it's willing. You remember how we talked a lot about the Hangman card recently? Yes. Okay. It's not, will I begrudgingly, and I have to, and I have whipped myself down. And so therefore, because I am terrible and I bring forth this out of shame and guilt. No, that's not, it's so... We love you so much. Spirit is saying, you know, Hecate, Lilith, we can make a list of these beautiful archetypes of energy. That's not how the offering needs to be brought forth. There's something coming through us like a dark, feminine, you know, mother. She's in this big, like, stone chair in the background, and the altar is in front of her. And it's very much like, okay, I don't know. Spirit is showing me, you know, in the stores that you shop, what is one around here? Sam's. And you go through the scanner thing, and it reads your receipt if you've done self-pay. Just stay with me, okay? It's almost like when you go up to the goddess to put your offering onto the altar, she's reading your energy. You feel what I'm saying? It's traversing a final gateway. Okay, well, why did you choose to bring that? Spirit is showing me kids doing show and tell. Okay, why did you choose to bring that? Well, let's read your heart. Okay, I'm seeing very like Ma'at. Okay, but like it's like a dark. It definitely gives Hecate, and you know she's been really strong and present in her archetype. Okay, next I'm hearing. Okay, next, right, and you're going up at a crossroads. And there's keys, and there's, you know, here she is. She's sitting in all her Hecate splendor. Maybe she has her, you know, raven on her shoulder. You know, the owls on her what throne that's made of stone. And I'm seeing like big tree roots coming out of the bottom, and she's sitting there. You know, maybe she's propping her hand on a skull. Her dogs are there. You know what I'm saying? There's a big torch, right? You see her, and she's like, okay. What are you bringing? Tell us why. Tell the class. No, I'm just kidding. Tell us why you've brought this offering to the altars today. Okay, and your heart is being read, you know. And what I'm seeing is like, when you walk up to her, it's like you go through this energy, and she's reading you at the crossroads. If you step through that portal, okay, I'm seeing this huge scythe. Shing. I'm hearing like a shing, ching. You know what I'm talking about? Because when you step through, whoosh, like the degree of cord cutting is another level for real. And you know that will be snapped back. And as you pull your power and you take it with you across these you know, portals, you receive keys. That's you. I'm seeing opening your hands and a bunch of keys being put in them, and you go on, and then all those cords go back because the karma has to return from where it was stolen from you before. You get what I'm saying? I'm hearing that song, don't look back in anger. I heard you say... shit, is that, don't look back in anger. Today is gonna be the day that Why am I brain? Oh, Oasis. Don't look back in anger. There's something about you can't. You have to go. The scythe, the sickle, it's going to ching. The wheat has already been separated from the chaff. It's just a matter of you going through the portal as a means of, I'm hearing severance. Because you've got to bring this level of power on past the crossroads, right? Because I'm hearing you're going to need it, okay? Because you're going to need it where you're going. But we can't be looking back. It's not. So for a while, though, we are going to sit in this void. I think meditation, being super focused on vision work for the future, with all this water, it's going to be super important. You can call on Uranus and Taurus to help you as we go into November to stay grounded, because look, the shadow comes with the light, and these shadow realms out here and all this water can get so deep, and you can be drowning when you ain't even really drowning. You're just drowning in your own feelings. You get what I'm saying? So you've got to be able to know yourself in the deepest way. You know what I mean? And stay fucking focused for real. Okay, because there's going to be judgment for people who kind of, it's giving y'all, and I'm not trying to powder it down. I'm not, powder it, what? Now I'm seeing someone's like a mime face. They're powdering their face like they're going to put on a show. Okay, I see, Spirit. Don't water it down. Don't come up there with a mask acting like you giving some shit you ain't really giving, love and light, because you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be accepted. There will be judgment for that, okay? And judgment will go back again in past timelines when you really let, when you really let these swords cut these ties. I'm hearing it like this. Yeah, I just keep hearing that ching ching, shink, like ching. You know what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's continue to read. In magic, the underworld is a place of transition between one life and the next, a place where you can retreat to replenish your soul and learn the details of your next human experience assignment. That doesn't mean you won't find judgment when you cross the veil. It is often said that how you live one life will determine your abundance in the next. Those who go through life with loving, kind hearts will find prosperity and great love in the next. I feel like this is all your ancestors are kind of talking through this message really loudly, okay? And they're kind of trying to say, listen, we need you to get this, okay? It's like they're calling from behind her throne. It's really important that you cross. You know what I mean? Don't bring a weak offering. This is not the time for that, right? It is often, those who go through life with loving, kind hearts will find prosperity and great love in the next. Also, Spirit is saying, those who were cruel will find themselves in a life of hardship and trauma as a way to atone for their unkindness. So it's like, don't miss that. It's not about doing everything perfectly, not making mistakes. We did all contract to come down and incarnate and have this human experience, even though we are divinely sovereign beings. We are evolving. We are transcending. We're doing alchemy, yeah? Okay, but that doesn't mean everything's going to be perfect. It doesn't mean you're not without your senses of what it is to be human and have desires and all of these things, right? But what it is about, oh, you know who I'm seeing? Because I was like, I'm getting big Ma'at energy. I'm also getting like very much Anubis, right? Judging the scales in the underworld. Also, it's very Persephone and Hades. So funny because I was showing you guys that card. Okay, hold on. She wants, y'all, I'm so one-handed. We're just going to sit it down because it's important. They're saying the imagery is out here, okay? It's about the intention of the heart, okay? The message for this card, okay, also, sorry guys, also I'm getting like, sometimes you also have to fucking protect the intentions of your heart. What is that? It's poor access. It's poor spiritual hygiene to give everyone access to you. And just because you have a beautiful heart, it drips so good. Spirit is saying that even when you go in the underworld, they want to, I'm hearing it like this, eat the life off your bones. Ooh, okay. That's what's coming through with this image here, but that doesn't mean they have a right to, and it's going to be more intense because things, entities, energetic timelines, and death will be much more hungry to kind of reclaim what they feel they're all owed. So even though it is about the intention of your heart, okay, this is what I'm getting. You're not the actual sacrifice, honey. Like, you're not. We're not going to keep going. That's not how the age of Aquarius is rebuilding us. It's not, okay? Okay. You got to be emotionally honest with yourself, and you've got to appreciate that. every motherfucking one. This is very dark feminine energy. Lilith, Hecate, okay? Everyone, they just can't. You can't bring them with you. You can't save them. You can't be kind. You have to speak your truth. It's all, no. You know, again, I'm hearing that ching ching, okay? The message for this card is about transitions. Excuse me. It's about moving out of the old and into a new way of living. Absolutely. I want to claim that. Don't you want to claim that? We've been clearing out baggage. You so fucking right. I know y'all better get with me, okay? We have been clearing out baggage for a long time, right? Don't y'all feel tired right now? It's okay to rest in this void and understand. You know what I'm saying? Put the offerings up on the altar. Do your Samhain work, and then we're going to rest in this void, and we're going to receive, okay? But we're going to rest. I'm tired. We have been clearing out baggage for a long time because you know what? The book says it takes a long time to clear out ways of doing and thinking that make up our very ways of life. But it's time to step through the threshold into something new and different. Yes, absolutely. This can be really scary, okay, because it means something has to die so that your new life may begin. And Spirit is saying, or else it's you or that. Either something else is going to die or you're just going to keep repeatedly dying. And that's just locking yourself into a lower timeline and repeating karmic cycles. We ain't doing that. We're trying to walk in Dharma. Uranus and Taurus is trying to slide up in all this water energy too and show you like this unexpected place that's coming where you can start a whole new foundation. Okay? Don't miss that. This can be very scary, right? Because it means something has to die for your new life to begin. You are more than prepared to handle, child, hold on, to handle this new path, or it wouldn't have been given to you. Embrace the change, loved one. That's so good, you guys, okay? We're going to read the reverse energy too, because it just, to me, it's like a caution. It's like the shadow side. And a lot of this underworld energy right now with this water can get very murky. It's easy to get confused if you don't know who the fuck you are. Okay, it's giving this whole vibe of like, I know you didn't come to this far to only go this far, let alone sink again, drown 3-4 more times. Like we ain't catching another set of gateways and portals like we have right now for decades. Okay. The reversed or caution shadowed energy says, the underworld can mean judgment is upon you. Karma has come to place your heart on the scales of justice. Be mindful of how you choose to live your life right now, making amends wherever you need to. Karma comes back tenfold. Excuse me. Do not be surprised if you're facing jealousy, gossip, manipulation. Yeah, this is going to be heightened anyway, you guys, because endings this big is going to be burning. It's going to be teeth gnashing. It's going to be hurting. It's going to be painful processes of people who just have refused to do any of the damn painful processes up to this point. Because we not going to be, it's not on the agenda. I'm hearing the syllabus is different. We're not going to be teaching them lessons no more like that, you guys. We're just not. Okay. Do not be surprised if you're facing jealousy, gossip, manipulation, and the like. If these are things you've directed towards others, you're responsible for paying these debts with interest. The best way to prove your heart is pure is to treat others the way you wish to be treated. Your energy attracts the energy you send out into the world. Absolutely. Boom. I love that message. I love that message so much for us. I was thinking about doing a Halloween oracle too, guys, but I mean the underworld twice. Literally, I was just going to show y'all that I had pulled this for myself. What else do we have? Hold on. Also, look, hear me out. I'm trying to think of a deck. We can do the Flux Arcana Tarot. I'm trying to think of a deck for real. That's going to be easy for me. You know what we're going to do? I'm not even going to shuffle it out fully. I'm literally just going to see. I'm pushing it against my arm, and I'm just going to, like, reach, and we're going to see what comes out. Not fucking, you cannot make it up, you guys. Do you see the Ace of Cups right out the box off the top? The Ace of Cups, because that's what you can find. I'm hearing it's almost like you find the Ace of Cups in an unexpected place when you can wade in those waters. The universe will remind you that your cup can be refilled. The universe, okay, this is also Spirit is saying, this is reinforcing that message that everybody can't be drinking out of your cup. Just because your cup stays refilled and very pure and very deep and very, it's like luscious. You know what I'm saying? Honey drip. What was it? Your energy drips so good. Everybody can't be drinking out of your cups though, okay? But if you want to do the work and let's say you're doing the banishing, the powerful banishing, release and let go, whatever way you choose, right? And maybe for you, you might be like, I feel like I'm in a good place for real. I've been doing the work. Maybe this year of 9 was intense, but I really feel, I've been vibing in harvest season. And yeah, I feel like my cup feels good. Okay, then you may need to just make sure that you have good energetic boundaries. And just continue sitting in the void and offering gratitude and understanding how connected you are in the universe. When I think of a cup being really full, I think of like, the womb space, but I also think of like divine feminine intuitive energy, the high priestess, the Queen of Cups, this very powerful intuitive energy that's connected to the womb and the heart space is intuition as well. And the Ace of Cups is whoops. It's always got to be something I'm dropping, y'all. Love and light. Okay, it is what it is. The Ace of Cups can also give like do visioning with spirit, right? North Node in Pisces and this Pisces energy and Neptune and Pisces really understanding closing out old visions and tapping back into all that spirit and your team and higher self and these new contracts that are coming. You know what I'm saying? Your cup is going to be refilled. Okay, but this reminds me of these teachings where it's kind of like if you're pouring into a cup that's always leaking out everywhere, the universe, love and light, and you're the universe. You are I am the I am. Okay, so the universe is pouring down all these new experiences, wanting to bring them in for you on these timeline convergence that are going to really pick up and hit go next year in a big way. Okay, but the universe cannot be having you bleeding all over everyone. Or that's like trying to put gas in a tank and it just spilling out. That fucking car ain't going to be able to drive nowhere. Then what we going to do? Then what we going to do with a boon of like a soul purpose or a blessing of maybe tangible, like wealth, inheritance, something, We did not do all this, you know what I mean, to show up after we come to the altar and give this sacrifice to then have a cup that's just bleeding out everywhere. That's not going to work. Isn't it interesting? The imagery that's in both of these cards, right? You see the dripping. It's almost like they're the juxtaposition of one another, right? Do you see that? So yeah, take good care of yourself. Let your cup replenish. This is kind of like sitting peacefully in the void and knowing all is well and all shall be well and all shall be well. You know what I'm saying? And we can get intense and we can walk the paths with Kaliman. We can walk with Hecate, and we can cross those crossroads. We can approach those altars with confidence in our heart and know what we lay up there. And sometimes what we lay up there is so different. We could be laying up there a sacrificial version of past versions of ourselves. Or maybe some of the monsters that we created to protect our inner child. We could be laying up a career. We could be laying up maybe you want to go to a whole different place and just restart your life. Damn, that's some Aquarius energy right there. I feel that. Age of Aquarius is there to support you if that's what you need, if that's what you want. It's important too. An Ace of Cups is a cup full of desire and wow, I'm excited. The universe is around me. I am supported. Hell yes, deep and raw and intense, but it's good and it's delicious too. If that's what you desire for yourself, then stand up. Prepare that offering, that sacrifice, whatever the case may be. Take it boldly and confidence and know your heart is in a right, good alignment. Does that mean good and evil? No, the energy is that you know what you want. You get what I'm saying? Because you are the universe, and the universe is pouring through you. So you would not want it if it wasn't a destiny for you. The two sides of that coin, though, in all of this, once again, murky water, Pluto and Aquarius teaching you lessons, you know, as we all do this work on the micro, it affects the macrocosm, right? So we're all doing this work. It is collectively resetting us, preparing for these timelines. And the thing is that the way that you approach what it is that you want to manifest for yourself, just be mindful that it's not out of a shadow, wounded, broken, traumatic place. Like we can't, if the more that we replay those themes in our own lives, and I understand we do what we need to do, and we are where we at on our journey, right? This is where we are. Loving yourself, accepting yourself, practicing forgiveness, right? Being present, okay? But the more that we play those things out of pain and wounds and shame and fear, the more that that's going to continue to ripple out to the collective. So you can choose to kind of drink from a different cup, right? Okay, so I think that's what we have. You know, it's not bad. I'm not mad at it. I appreciate my ride or die, my family. You know, drop a, if you want to, drop a skull below, you know, shout out to your ancestors. Maybe drop a cup, something that's representative of water. Maybe drop a scorpion below. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. That's not bad for my hand being the stand the whole time. Oh, hold on. What are we, child? I've been holding this thing for 51 minutes. You got to be kidding. Spirits reminded me that we were talking about dragon's blood. Remember, I was Googling and we were talking about, oh, this is so appropriate, you guys. This is so appropriate. Dragon's blood jasper. Okay. Spirit wants me to go back to it before we close. Okay, so I'm looking at Moonrise Crystal's website, and they wrote an article. Remember, by the way, I've been talking about how I've been loving this dragon's blood incense. Rosemary has come through as well, so cleansing, purity, releasing with good remembrance for new timelines, right? Super appropriate. But yeah, so I was going to Google in the beginning, you guys. I was going to Google, right, dragon's blood and channel whatever wanted to come through. Whoops. And I accidentally went to Dragon's Blood Jasper. Okay, but I'm going to read it to you, okay? Dragon's Blood Jasper is a rare healing crystal found only in Western Australia. It's a striking combination of green fuchsite with red jasper. Jasper. Hang on, guys. I'm trying to hold this with one hand and rotate my hands, so I'm really sorry if it's wobbly. It's often confused with dragonstone, a similarly looking stone found in South Africa, but the two healing stones are actually quite different. It's funny, we've got a little bit of draconian energy here with dragon's blood jasper, right? Dragon's blood jasper combines practicality with courage, a rare energy that encourages us to walk our talk and solve our problems. Its energy inspires us to grow up. Come on, Spirit, okay? Take responsibility and do what needs to be done. If we make the big change, it helps us quickly to accept the needs and put everything that we've learned into action. Okay, so that's an awesome message. So it says, Dragon's Blood spiritual healing properties include Dragon's Blood Jasper has a distinctly mature vibration that deftly balances sensibility with bravery. Oh, I know we need that. We wading through the deep waters, and then we about to send up our flares, and, you know, we're going to flare up all of this Aries energy again in the spring, and I love that for us, so I like this. Balancing sensibility with bravery. It helps us to quickly understand complex situations and respond to them appropriately. It invites us to be strong as well as gentle, and it pushes us to act with deliberate intent in all aspects of our life. In particular, it encourages us to be more conscious of our true impact. It reminds us that when we channel our energy and time appropriately, we are immensely powerful beings. Okay? Dragon's Blood Jasper helps us to grow up. in our spiritual and earthly lives and be capable of taking more personal responsibility, because honestly, we are the wave now that has got to come through and do that for real. Okay? Likewise, it encourages us to give other people the freedom to walk their own paths without our interference, right? That's the separation of the timelines right there, dude. Dragon's Blood Jasper asks us to focus on what is truly important for our happiness and growth, and it helps us to put our knowledge into action and live our faith in everyday life. Yes. I don't know. I know I've had like Septarian. I know I've had dragon. I know I've had dragons, stones. I'm going to have to look it up. Have I had a piece of this before? I don't know. But anyway, you guys, this is a message. I know that's going to arrive and serve your highest and best good exactly when you need to see it. I will say, when I'm looking over here, they make a little energetic box, and it says chakras associated: root, sacral, and heart. Perfect. Element of earth, grounding. I love it. Numerology is 6 and 9. The zodiac signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. You can't make that up, for real. That's awesome. All right, so I love all of the energy for us that came through. I hope you guys have a great Monday and enjoy your week as we work our way up to Samhain. Excuse me. I love you guys. I look forward to talking to you soon, okay? Bye.